Good, okay, so we're on. This is the meeting of the Lunenburg Water Commission, October 13th, 4 p.m. This meeting is being recorded for rebroadcast over Lunenburg Public Access. First item on the agenda is the review and sign the warrants.
Done.
That's been completed. I would accept a motion to approve the minutes of September 22nd, 2021.
And I make a motion, we approve the minutes of September 22nd, 2021.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next on the agenda, we're gonna review the RFP for the cellular carrier.
Okay, so everybody knows that there's a, T-Mobile's aren't currently on the water tank, and Nextel, Sprint, AT&T. The T-Mobile contract is expiring, so we need to extend it. And I spoke to the attorneys, we cannot extend it, we need to go through the whole RFP process and present it to everybody, so we could possibly get someone else that comes in on there. So it's the old contract is totally expired and done. So Copeland and Page, the new attorneys, sent this RFP. They've done them for many towns, and so they sent this one as a draft. It's got a lot of highlighted areas in it, question spots. So I was hoping that maybe we just zip through this and go through the questions.
Yep.
Some of the spots. So the very first one, the first yellow line, $45,000 minimum payment per year. So currently, T-Mobile pays $44,244 a year. So the $45,000 is, pretty accurate. Just for reference, so people know, AT&T currently pays $49,200 a year.
And they're both on the tank?
Correct. Yeah, and also on the tank is Nextel, Sprint.
But they're going away?
Supposedly, yeah, they're gonna terminate.
But are they still paying their monthly?
They're still paying their rent, and it's the exact same as T-Mobile, so that's $44,244.
Okay.
So maybe by this RFP process, who knows, maybe we could get Verizon to jump on, because they're currently on the Sunny Hill tank, and I think they had talked to us in the past, but at that time, what we had in the past, we had 4 cellular carriers on that tank. We had AT&T and Cellular One. They merged, so we lost one of them. So we ended up with the name stayed with AT&T.
So we had the 4, but how many units do they normally put per carrier on a tank?
They're different. The T-Mobile was the smallest. They usually did like 2 antennas. Over the years, they kind of expanded it. So that's one of the things in the contract. We're going to limit it to 12 antennas. That way, they they can't just take over and put as many antennas as they want. So this is kind of what happened with AT&T and Cellular One when they merged. They wanted to terminate one contract and pay one fee
for all the
both antenna sites going.
Yep.
And it was a big duking match. Like, no, you either shut that off, we're going to cut your cables, because they didn't want to do that. So that's why we're going to make sure we watch this one and make sure we have control of how big they can get it. Okay, so that was the first part, and then the other lines just addresses, phone numbers, stuff like that. The square footage down under the introduction spot, their buildings now are like 15 by 20s, 10 by 20s. So I was thinking if we did 300 square feet instead of 225. If we do it not to exceed 300 or something like that.
Or take the biggest building we have there, or do you think that?
I couldn't measure the cell 1 building. That's the biggest.
Because I can see the equipment's getting smaller.
Oh yes.
So if we can do but if we already have an existing structure on the site, just measure the biggest one we got.
Yeah. So just so you also know, T-Mobile, they weren't even going to put a structure. They were going to use outside cabinets.
No,
And the town made them put up the shelter. So.
I would think you should have a structure. Yep.
Okay. That was easy. So then the next page, they talk about the antennas. It's not really in yellow, but it's that pinkish color. Purpose and background, first paragraph. So my note says not to exceed 12 antennas. Sometimes they do 9. But as long as they stay 12 or less, it's fine.
But this doesn't limit each carrier.
This will-
You said
well,
12
this is
antennas to the tank, right?
per carrier.
Per carrier, 12
Yeah.
antennas, okay.
I'll make that note too.
So it's not 12 antennas total, it's 12 per carrier.
Correct, yeah. So they do 4. They use 3 sectors, so they'll do 4 for each sector.
Okay.
Okay, then the next yellow section, it says that 45,000 again, which, are you guys okay
Yep.
with that 45? Because I don't slightly match what they're doing now.
That's kind of our starting point where we are now, I'm fine.
Okay.
Unless
And
there's,
no one
unless there's
says-
a reason it's increasing, but,
No one says they're gonna bid that, they could bid more. 'Cause
Yep.
that's what this is, competition now,
Yeah.
you know. And then also they get the 3% escalator,
yep,
which all the previous contracts, it was 4. And then this last one, we were gonna agree to the 3%.
but
And
they would have to move.
in exchange, have them move their
Yep.
equipment, so. And then the next pink section, they did, welding's not allowed. But all previous installation, they did that cold stud welding.
Mm-hmm.
And it never damaged the tank, but typically when they do the stud welding, I make them go in and re-inspect.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanna make sure that when they do weld to the tank, they are required to go inside and inspect
Inspect the tank.
interior coating. Yeah, and then they just want us to do a deadline, which I agree with.
Mm-hmm.
They did this on this one, we've never done it in the past, but a $2,500.
Yeah, I don't see
Submit
it.
it's refundable to all the other people, but the person who actually gets the
Oh, okay.
bid, you keep it.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I don't have
I-
a preference either way. We've never charged to submit the proposals. So.
Yeah, I think maybe this is one of those things, is this the draft you're gonna send to T-Mobile?
I don't know, I was kinda thinking probably go through the attorney first, tweak it up a little tighter, and
Okay.
then send the draft to them.
I was gonna let them request that that doesn't happen, or if the,
I'll
whatever,
just
it
leave
doesn't,
it.
doesn't matter to me, I mean, if it comes through like a draft, then it's up to them to say they wanna do it or don't wanna do it, or I don't, we haven't done it in the past, I don't know what your thought is, John. I hate giving a deposit for something that,
Yeah.
Well,
Then you.
I kinda think T-Mobile's gonna put in a proposal and stay there.
right, so
So
why,
we're not gonna miss any
why,
rent.
right,
It's all gonna just keep plugging along like it is, so it's
Yep.
kinda, I don't think it's necessary,
nope,
so. remove.
yep, unless for some odd reason our attorney tells us to leave it in there.
Okay, then, alright, go ahead.
So, you were going to the site visits? Are you on that page for the site visits?
I think I skipped all of those, so. Which page?
I know it's not numbered.
Yeah, I was just going page by page for the one, so it's the one after the.
After the stud instruction, okay.
So-
Oh, yeah, so yeah, we pick a day,
Yeah, okay, so
Right.
they can go visit for the bid, not
Yeah.
for work to be done or anything.
correct.
Yeah, that's
And they-
fine.
They just recommended we, set,
Yep.
time, 7 to 10 days before that
Yep,
bid. so
yeah,
we
that's
can
all
see.
fine, yep.
And then the next part gets into the permitting. Yeah, this is tank viewing too, another one. But the permits, if it is, and I don't think that this would change, they've already gone through all the town permits, they have their permit to be there.
Right,
So if T-Mobile stays there, they already have the permit, so I don't think there's gonna be any time delays on, going through the zoning process,
mm-hmm,
so. Yeah, and then she did ask in the section 5, who else is up there, which I just mentioned, AT&T, T-Mobile, and Sprint Nextel. And the next page, that 3% escalator. And then it goes into the details. I mean, that the main purpose of the tank is for public water supply, and they, you know, they can't do anything to jeopardize that. And then she's asking about the time we think it's gonna take to get permits, but I think we're good on that.
Did you go through section 7, it talks about tank maintenance fees? And the bond, do we have a bond on any of them now?
A bond, we should have a bond.
And, I mean, even the maintenance fee, I mean, they don't ever inspect, you know, when they cold weld those studs and stuff like that, do they ever come up and inspect the hardware after it's put on a regular basis to make sure it's?
Not internal, because the welds are really strong.
But
So-
external, they check there?
Yeah, they're there all the time checking
Okay.
that stuff, but the internal, yeah, when they do the weld, we don't want them to weld and burn that epoxy coating on the inside. Cause that'd be
Right.
very bad, so.
Yep.
So, that was, one of my question marks, a water tank maintenance fee. We don't have any of that now.
No, I mean, we're inspecting the tanks anyway on a regular basis.
Right.
And then they have to inspect it after they do any work to the tank.
So, okay,
So-
so maybe we can just put a clause if any,
That they would have to inspect any work done or anything changed or moved.
or any needs on their equipment that, like we did have a problem with one of them on the cable tray that goes up the side where the antenna cables run up.
Yep.
It was galvanized and they didn't do the correct primer on it, so it was peeling off.
Yep.
So they did come and fix it, but it took us a while to get them there to go fix it up. But so as long as there's something in it that says that, maybe that'll probably be in the actual lease, that if there's something that needs repair on their equipment, that they must repair in a reasonable amount of time.
Tack on it, is
Sure.
Yeah, do you want, you wanna hold them to the end, or you wanna just go through if you?
it? I just real quick, just
Yeah.
because I'm familiar with this. So I will put something to the, other than their regularly scheduled maintenance on those antennas, they have PMIs, the maintenance inspections they do on
Right.
those. So that's like a normal procedure for them. I'd say anything above and beyond that, say for basic cable tray or something like that, that's where I'd wanna see the tank maintenance be, you know, put in with that.
Okay.
Anything outside their normal, yes, everything's looking good.
Yep. Yeah, that sounds, so make a note to see what they think on that. Shall cancel. And all the other optional is it standard as far as termination or on either end? There's a couple notes there.
Oh, yeah, I didn't really look at the termination part. Okay, so this one, this
So the
code just,
date
they
this
pay us
lease
for 12 months
expires.
for termination, so.
Okay, but I mean, is this a revolving annual contract? Does it
This-
have a term?
It's,
Because-
5 years renewable, 4 times for a maximum of 20 years.
With a minimum of a 3% escalator
Correct.
per year,
Per year,
not per contract.
correct, per year, yeah.
So it's 5 years, renewable 4 times?
Correct.
Okay, yep, that seems fine.
Yeah, so the whole term is 20 years. The guy, I did talk to T-Mobile and told him, that, he wasn't thrilled that he had to go through all this, but he did say a lot of cellular companies, even though they already have a current contract agreement, will submit a proposal. Because if they submit a proposal and we set up a new agreement with them, they terminated their old agreement, now they went for another 20 years.
Yep,
So he says, if they got 10 years left and they do this thing, now they have 20 years.
but they have no time left with us right now.
These guys, yeah, they're on months left, yeah, so.
Oh, T-Mobile has more time left.
Very little.
Okay,
Very
yeah. So they need to renew anyway.
Yes,
So they're not in any of those renewable they've already renewed as many times as they can renew
That-
based on
that
our
is
current
correct.
contract.
Right, so the whole process of this was to do an extension to their current agreement,
Right,
and the attorney said we can't, so that's why we're doing.
so this would just be a whole new agreement.
Correct.
And this goes out, we send this out to all the carriers, even
Yeah,
the ones
go
we
on
don't
the
have.
public, the register, so everybody will see it. And then we usually you have to throw it in the newspapers,
Yeah.
so.
Now, is there a possibility for a vendor to outbid another vendor?
Yes.
And kick them off, so somebody could outbid T-Mobile and kick them off the tank?
Correct.
And we can't have multiple,
We could
Contracts?
fit two more,
so we can fit two more.
fit two more. So if,
So somebody could bid for all of them and just put their, like Verizon, let's say they wanna come in, they could bid for all of it, kick T-Mobile off, and there could be extra spots on the tank.
well, that wouldn't happen. So
Okay.
you're gonna get proposals, let's say there's 3 proposals that come in, and you're gonna pick the 2 highest ones.
Yeah,
And you're just gonna let them go. So T-Mobile's already there, so you say you can stay there. If you
Yeah.
get another proposal, then we terminate Nextel, because they're on their way out anyway. Because we supposedly we're already supposed to have the termination letter,
yeah,
and I keep telling them we have not received it yet. So anyway, so Verizon does come in, kick out Nextel Sprint, and move up Verizon, and good to go. So Verizon would have to go through the permit process, because I don't
they're
think
not
you-
permanent right now,
yeah, I don't think you can transfer a cell carrier to another cell carrier.
no. So it's not a transferring of, is it a transferring of a license like a liquor license, or no?
I don't think so, but I don't.
Okay, cause I mean, it's already there, it's already in that use,
Yes.
so it shouldn't
Same
be,
elevation,
shouldn't be
same
that,
spot,
shouldn't be
same-
that difficult.
I mean, they could take over the building and leave the wires going there, I mean, so they could, it would be
Right.
pretty easy if they did.
Well, good.
So that was pretty much it.
So at this point, what, does it go back to the attorney with our comments and then they modify it and we can send it out?
Yes, if you want, we'll tweak it up, tighten it up with, the attorneys, and then, do you want me to send it to T-Mobile, we'll just put it out. He was mostly, wanted to make sure it was very clear on the tank maintenance that they have to move their equipment. So this is step 1, and then you get the lease. The lease is, this is gonna make them aware of everything, they're gonna submit their proposals, and then we do the lease.
I'd
So
go out
that's
there,
just-
if we have the possibility of open space on the tower, I'd go out to bid for it. I'd send it out.
Alright,
Send specifically, T-Mobile's already there, they should get a copy of this, but you know, unless, yeah, I don't think we can just say T-Mobile, if you want all the spots, you can.
oh, no,
So
no,
we
yeah.
might as well, we might as well do both, it's already set
Yeah,
up.
it's going out there, and we'll just make it, yeah, there's two possible sites, so. And the way T-Mobile said it, there's 3 possible sites. Cause you got AT&T on the very top, and, they could also submit too.
Yep.
So, but they're already there, they already have an agreement, so we can't.
But they may wanna renew their agreement,
Correct.
and their agreement's good till when, the AT&T agreement?
Now it's probably 10 years left.
So they, with the possibility of going to a 20-year, they may consider renewing.
They may, I think it's very unlikely, but you
Yeah.
never know.
Now, do you so you'll send this to the current guys on the tower and
I
then
don't
put the
think you
rest of
send it
them?
actually to them, you just put it in the public register.
Maybe just let
and
them know.
They all know, yeah. Verizon, that's pretty much the only one that's not there. And they're on the Sunny Hill Road tank, so I have their contacts, I can talk to them.
Just to make them aware that it's going out. Okay, any more on that?
Any public?
Any public comment? Okay, next on the agenda, we have copper and lead results.
Did you see those, John?
Yeah, I got one earlier.
We were due for our 3-year copper and lead, so we did the 20 sites that DEP already picked. We passed. You have to be 90th percentile to pass, to submit everything. So I think we had, out of the 20 sites, I think 19 passed, so we were above.
The key one you focus on is the lead. Lead is the one that has an action level. That's the biggest concern, so we only had one that was slightly over.
Yep.
Yeah.
From there, all the results are mailed to the homeowners. We then publicly put it out there, Facebook, website. Actually, it was mail, on the bills that went out for October at the bottom, notifying people to go to our website for all results. And then
Okay.
results are actually mailed to each homeowner who did the testing, so they knew their exact results.
Each water taker gets one of these? But the
Not that
results-
big.
No.
Not that.
Okay.
That, just notification when they got their bills on October 1st. They got notification to go to our website.
And
to-
review that.
And review the results.
Because somebody could have lead, we might not have the amount in our system, but due to their plumbing in their house, some people may have a higher lead content. So,
These are considered worst case houses, 82 to 86.
yeah,
That's when lead solder was still used.
yeah,
86 is when it was
And-
banned, so that's the,
and they still passed.
and
Yeah.
that's worst case. First,
Yeah.
that's first flush. So typically when you use your water, you always wanna flush it for a minute.
Oh,
Typically,
right.
rule of thumb is you run it till it gets cold, and then you use it for drinking, cooking, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That is worst case, where the water sat there in that faucet, and you filled up the container, that's what we sampled.
Okay, so you sampled right off the bat and we still,
And still.
without any flushing or anything.
Yep.
Good.
And that all that does is tell us if we're adding adequate pH adjustment. So that's what we do. The raw water's pH from around 5.6 to 5.7, and we raised the pH to 7.3 to 7.7.
Great.
And all those sites we've been testing at those sites for probably since the early 90s. So originally it was 40 sites, and then because we had good results, we went to 20 sites, and then because that still turned out good, then they went to 20 sites every 3 years.
And these are,
So reduced sites.
these are sites that are most likely to give us high results.
Correct.
Picked by DEP, right?
Right.
No, we
Oh,
went in and
submitted them
looked,
to 'em?
yes, we submitted them and we had to justify why.
Okay.
You know, so we looked at who had water lines, new water lines installed, and, you know, during that period, so that's lead solder. And we don't have any lead service lines, so we can't use that. So they had different tiers, and that was the highest tier that we could get in the Lunenburg system.
Correct. And all these sites are on our webpage? Or they got them in their
Oh, the
last bill?
links.
The
You're
links.
talking about, yep, the links, yes.
Yeah.
This whole page is
Yeah.
on there, on Facebook, on, and our
Facebook, it
website.
kinda got a little messed up with that's what it looked like when we copy pasted it onto Facebook, and that's what it looked like, and then when you hit the insert button, to post it,
Yeah.
It didn't-
kinda comes out all.
But it's
kinda-
posted at, we have copies here, and we posted it at, Town Hall, so
Can't
people
do
can
much,
see.
can't do much more than that.
It was all required by DEP. We did everything that they asked for as far as notification for people, so.
So in reference to where we're at and looking at these results, are we right close to under, or are we well under allowable limits?
Well, they use that 90th percentile,
Yeah,
so with 20 samples, you gotta pass 2. I mean, you're
Okay.
You gotta fail, you're allowed
You're
to
allowed
fail
to
too.
fail 2.
okay.
And we only failed 1. So we did, it was, I don't know, probably 10 years ago, we did the sampling, we failed more
Yeah.
than the results. So then you talk to the homeowners, and the guy's like, well, I haven't used that faucet in two years, it's an old bathroom or something.
Yeah,
And DEP's like, nope, sample is done, you violated, it's here, all done.
do we try on the ones with the highest elevations to maybe flush and resample to see if, at least if they flush before they use, that they're getting a safer?
They're all aware of that, if they
Okay.
flush. That's why this is the worst case, so I
Yeah.
mean, we barely exceeded that level, so if they do 2-minute flush, I mean, 20-second flush, it's probably gonna be.
Yep.
When everything's sent to the homeowners, when we send the bottles out for the samples, there's a full how to take the sample, there's a full description of why we do it this way. You know, so those people get an understanding of why
And then
it's done.
even on that paper, it tells you how to.
How to
How to
flush your
flush.
stuff.
Right,
It
right,
has
and
links
that's the
for
thing, I just wanna
homeowners
make
to
sure that
say.
if anybody has any questions, comments, or concerns, all that information is out there for
It's all
them,
this.
and they they can
Yep.
see it, understand
There's-
how to do it.
Links to everything that you
Yep.
need to figure out to get more information on it. Yep.
Good. Good. Any more on the copper and lead results?
We're good.
Okay, we're gonna go to Commissioner Superintendent Additions.
All I got is, we wanna get working on the loam out in the back,
Yep.
and, so we need, what do you guys want us to do? Rent the screener, excavator, what do you want us to do? And then also think about that, and also we gotta clear the trees around the wells, the power lines, because we maintain the trees there, so.
You had looked into a brush cutter at some point.
Yes.
Are you
That would be
ready?
the easiest thing. In the past, typically we would just go out there, weed whackers and chainsaws.
Right.
But the water is like this deep down there. This
Yeah.
is a crazy summer. So if we could get something on a machine that we could reach out there,
Yep.
that'd be.
Which I talked to insurance, I got some prices, I talked to insurance and they said all I needed was the replacement value.
Okay.
And then once they knew that, they
And then
could
they
write
would-
up
They would give you a binder
a
or something
binder
for it.
basically
Yeah.
for it, and then, yeah, I would guess.
That should be part of your, is it part of your policy now, rental equipment, or?
We don't really rent.
Yeah.
He said it was no
Must be
problem.
part
When
of
I
your
went
equipment,
to,
cause I do the same thing.
when I went to our contact with the insurance, I asked, what do we, and he said, yeah, it's no problem, just let me know when it is. All you need to do is tell me what the estimated replacement value is.
So I would look at scheduling and
Yeah.
availability, and I think we could definitely do that. The loam, yeah, figure out what's available, for screening and equipment, whether we have to rent or other. Whether we do it with ours or there's another source.
So I figured we'd have one machine loading it, excavator or something, and
Yeah.
then we use our backhoe to just
Yep,
move it off, stockpile it,
yep.
and then because we got to just clear access out there, then we can clean the place up and be done with it. So.
Gonna stockpile some of the loam, or you gonna have some to stockpile, or you have areas you're putting it?
Stockpile. We only need a little bit of it. I wouldn't be opposed if you guys wanted to sell it, whatever you want to do.
Maybe we could look into a swap. There are a lot of people in town that maybe you could consider having them even screen the material and leave us a portion, or we use their equipment, and I don't know how that
See,
works.
Yeah, that would be kind of get into an RFP kind of thing. So
Right.
that could be.
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
So we'd have to go out to,
I mean, if we screened it, we did all the work, we had a pile, and
we just sold
said,
it.
hey, who wants to buy that pile? Give me a price.
Yeah.
We could do
Well,
that.
then you'd still have to do an RFP.
But that would be a simple
Yeah,
little one.
yeah.
Hey, there's a pile of dirt, 50 feet wide in the bottom, 30 feet high.
yeah,
Just throw me a number,
okay. So do you wanna move forward with?
Yeah, so
that?
you guys okay if we rent some equipment and do what we gotta do? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gotta figure out whatever we gotta do to clean the site up.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope, that was it.
I noticed our nice new granite sign when I pulled in.
They did that yesterday.
It's good
Yes,
In
sir.
looking.
preparation for you guys to drive in.
Yeah.
And he didn't even see it.
Yeah.
It's missing something though.
Yeah.
What, lighting or the address?
The power's all there, we just gotta put the light part.
Yeah, I can talk to you about it after. I was talking to Ethan about that today, and, whether you go with a transformer and low voltage, because the transformer you can program. So you can just mount a transformer on the post you have down there, and then it switches to low voltage lighting, and it
Okay.
has a timer and everything all included in it.
That's got the light sensor on it, so.
Okay,
So
it's already got a
already
light
down
sensor
there.
down
It's
there?
all there,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, so it's just a matter of digging and putting the
light
lights
bulb.
in?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll turn on or off when it's dark out, so.
But we talked about,
We need a hydrant on there.
yeah, if you go look at it
It's
closely,
plain looking.
now that it's up,
Yeah.
the letters should have been bigger, we should have added more, there's just more to it, so we talked
I
about
think we could.
pricing out
Personally.
engraving a hydrant or something.
Are the
or-
letters black on that?
We talked about darkening that too.
Yeah.
They aren't, they're
Yeah.
they're just a dark,
Yeah.
they're not,
That's not a
darker
big,
blue
that's not a
almost. Yeah.
big thing. I mean, we don't, that's as far as bid wise, we just have
Yeah,
the
no,
local
that was
guy-
only, I think, a
local
couple
guy
$100.
take care of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call a guy, I'm coming and do it.
Yeah,
And put engrave a hydrant on it, and paint it red.
Yeah,
Can we,
You know.
can we have him, like, put your face on the
Yeah,
side?
yeah,
that'd be a good look.
yeah, you
Put
can
the
do it.
commissioner's faces on it.
Yeah, yeah.
We're looking to welcome people, not scare them away.
I got something to say, but the TV is on, so. We won't get there.
Do we have anything else? Public comment. I do want to say that Mr. Woodward put in his nomination papers. He's at our meeting today, and he will be on the ballot for our special meeting November 17th.
And the polling be 4 to 6?
yeah. we
Polling
decided.
4 to 6 with the meeting at 6, and then we'll give the results then. Does that seem fair, John?
The meeting at 6. Oh, have it at,
We gotta
Yeah,
do so the polls will be open November 17th from 4 PM to 6 PM.
what day is that?
Wednesday.
All right, okay.
Wednesday, I think it's our regular meeting night.
Regular meeting night,
We
yeah.
will then have, we can convene, we can have our meeting and announce
Yes.
the elections.
So we can open the special meeting for the poll, and then you can
And
open
then,
our regular
then
meeting.
we'll have our
same
regular
point,
meeting.
And
Yep,
then you close our regular meeting, and then close the special
Special.
after.
yep. So do we wanna have our meeting during the polling hours or after they're
You,
closed?
you could have it 4 o'clock while everybody's coming and voting.
Yeah,
So you wanna put our meeting, our regular meeting time at
Why don't we do that at 5:30?
5 or 5:30,
Yeah.
and then we'll close the regular meeting and open the special for the election. That sound like a plan?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm not sure, don't you have to open the meeting to do the election? Like our annual meetings?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
No, the moderator does it. Yep, you guys aren't here till your meeting's at
right.
10.
So the
Yeah,
moderator,
opens the polling, yep.
yeah.
so we have to
Okay.
make sure our moderator's available. He can open the polling at 4,
Yes,
and then we can have our meeting at 5:30,
yes.
and then we can open the special meeting at 6 o'clock and announce the election results.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds pretty confusing.
So basically, if you wanna vote, come between 4 and 6 on the 17th.
Perfect.
Vote often and vote right.
You do have to be a member of the district and a registered voter in the community of Lunenburg to vote in a district election. Okay, we got anything else?
Nope. Not that I know.
Motion to adjourn.
Done so.